What's going on here?
What about now?
How about now?
What about now?
Ian
people?
McCarthy says
Let us
yes. I love the positivity. JS says, "Hey Glenn, can't hear you. What a shame."
I've got sound now from you guys. We're back.
You're back.
Finn says, yeah.
We're back.
Don't
From outer
fiddle with the
space.
connections in the middle.
Was that me? That was probably me. Woohoo!
Okay,
Thank you,
good,
Brandon.
we're good.
We just wanted to test that the top chat was working, and it is indeed working. We've had more comments than ever. Hello, JS. Hello, Andrew Hutchinson. Hello, Stephen.
Says JS.
Now we just throw to Glenn Ponder and the Glenn Ponder Orchestra. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. I'm genuinely very sorry that you don't understand a decent Alan Partridge reference. So we are today talking about Richard Dawkins, and he went on to the national broadcaster in Ireland, the RTE, and onto Brendan O'Connor's show, and was expecting just to promote his book, and instead, what can you describe the conversation for those who might not have heard it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was, in some sense, it was quite wide-ranging, but the thing that really stood out, it was a reference back to a tweet that Dawkins made in 2014 that Brendan O'Connor brought up, where a lady had tweeted and said that I don't think that she was pregnant, was she? But she was saying she wouldn't know what she would do if she was in a situation where she was pregnant and found out that she had a Down syndrome child. She said, I genuinely wouldn't know what to do. And Dawkins' tweet basically just said something like, abort it and try again. Wasn't that the basic gist of it?
Yeah. And he said it would be
immoral to bring that it into the world as he described the child.
immoral if the child would bring more.
If the child would bring more stuff to the world. And Brendan O'Connor brought this up. Next time I'll go again.
Is it Paul's voice or is it my voice?
Whatever you just did then, brought it back.
Fix it. Okay. It seems to me like we might have a dodgy cable here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just don't touch that.
Don't touch that cable.
Don't touch that dial.
Okay.
We're still here, folks. Let us know if we're back to normal. It sounds okay in my ears again now. So Brendan O'Connor raised this, and actually he said, I've got a bit of a vested interest here because he has a child with Down syndrome. But he seemed very objective about the whole thing. Like he certainly didn't allow emotion particularly to come into it. He just seemed to engage Dawkins on this issue and say, you know, I'm not having a pop here. I want to know.
I'm not having an emotional conversation here. Really? Yeah. Right, you keep talking. I'm going to find a different cable.
Right, and so let's pop this up here. See if we can do any better.
Here we go.
Okay.
Pulled it.
It's all gone wrong.
There we go. Nobody panic. Nobody panic.
That's plugged over there. It's wherever that one was.
Awesome.
See what happens when the interns aren't here?
You can tell, can't you?
So smooth. Right. Back again?
How about now?
I can hear you now.
What do we think?
Go. It is a bit exterminate, isn't it? Right. It seems fine, doesn't it? And then you speak.
And then I speak.
As soon as you speak.
There's a parable here. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yup, says Stephen Finch.
Okay,
Thank you,
well,
Stephen.
hopefully we're okay.
Yeah.
Just let us know. So where were we?
I don't know.
So
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Live broadcasting, people. So yeah, Brendan O'Connor brought this issue up, and it was just really interesting to see Dawkins calling on this. Because he really struggled against it. So what we want to do is, if you haven't seen
Like a Dalek? No.
now you're back again.
I'm back again.
Yeah.
This is odd. This is again, says Stephen Finch in his best Ulster accent. Again. Really? Is it? Am I?
No, you're fine now.
I'm fine now.
It just seems random. It kicks in. If
Okay.
worst comes to the worst, we'll kill that mic and we'll just ramp up the gain on here and try and
And we'll do it
share
in
this
in
one.
between. Okay.
This is because someone. This is all because someone bound us in the supernatural power of the Lord Jesus. The
Oh,
week,
yes,
isn't it?
on
Maybe
TikTok.
this is the result.
We messed with the wrong guy on TikTok, and he bound us in the supernatural name of the Lord Jesus. If you're not following us on TikTok, then you really are missing out. But I'm gonna pretend like everything's fine.
It is fine at the moment.
Am I exterminate?
No, you're fine right now.
Okay.
To
All
me.
right. All right. Let's just talk like it's me and you, Paul. Like, we don't care about the others. What we want to do is we want to listen to more of the conversation than was sort of tweeted out there. So I think the reason why this particular interview between Dawkins and Brendan O'Connor went a bit viral was because RTE made a 2-minute clip and sent it out on Twitter.
Yeah.
And that really is what people are responding to. And what I want to do is have a look at some of the broader aspects of the 20-minute conversation that was had.
Yep.
And then we're going to dive into the extended conversation that Brendan and Richard had, which cuts out some vital things that Richard Dawkins says. And so we'll discuss why they might have cut those things out, and then let's talk about some of the broader cultural issues and why it is that people reacted the way that they have reacted. But first of all, why don't we listen to something that happened early on in the conversation, around about the 4-minute mark, where Brendan O'Connor asks Richard Dawkins in a very kind of blithe, kind of innocent way, you're not that much of a fan of religion, are you, Richard? In the understatement of the century.
Here we go.
To put it colloquially, you're not a big fan of religion. Do you think at all that we saw an awful lot of good people actually get great comfort in faith during these very painful times?
I haven't noticed that. I don't deny that people can get comfort from faith. You can even get comfort from something that's false if you believe it sincerely enough. So that is possible, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're going to make a calculus on the quality of somebody's life, would you say that whatever gets them through the night, if it helps them to have a better quality of life, that then that's okay for them?
Within limits, I would say that. But
Yeah.
I do, as a scientist, I do value truth. And therefore, I'm not sure that I'm that enthusiastic about getting you through the night if it's downright false.
Now that is fascinating.
So
I love that. So Brendan has kind of said, if we're going to do a calculus, and if it's going to be all about, prioritizing pleasure over pain, then why not prioritize even, let's say, a falsehood like religion if it gets you through the night? And Richard Dawkins says, no, I have this supreme value, this transcendent value called truth. And therefore, I'm not, even if it is a comforting fiction, I don't want to buy into it. And so Richard Dawkins actually, at this stage of the interview, is not a utilitarian. A utilitarian is a consequentialist kind of ethical theorist who says you've just got to weigh up the consequences of any action, and if it causes more pleasure, then it's the right action. If it causes more pain, it's the wrong action. And Brendan O'Connor treats Dawkins as though he's a utilitarian, and Dawkins at this stage is like, no, there is a value that's higher, and that value is truth. And so let's pursue truth, even if it does not lead us to comfort, which is a fascinating kind of setup to the conversation that they have, because later Brendan O'Connor will kind of say, what about life? What about the moral value? I'm going down again, Mike, right? Guys, this is
Let's kill that mic.
sorry about this, Mike.
Let's kill that.
We kill the mic.
Bump this.
Look at the chat, Amanda Kay says. Look at the chat. I'm looking, Amanda.
Might sound a bit distant there, but let's play the game. You know, we can.
But what you're saying is great. Thank you, JS, for encouraging us. Ugh. Right? Do we sound? I mean, we'll sound a lot more distant, I think, but
might be able to
less Dalek-y.
bump us up a little bit. I don't know whether that's really done anything.
JS says, this reminds me of your debate with Matt Dillahunty, except that Premier Radio... Premier did a much more professional job, I think you'll agree.
Are we loud enough there? Can people let us know whether you can hear us clearly enough?
This has been the best thing for Top Chat, though, in terms of the interaction.
Basically, just if it's a disaster, people are quite happy.
They quite like it.
Comment.
It's like a car crash that you can't quite tear your eyes away from. So it's fascinating that when Richard Dawkins is asked about truth, he is not a utilitarian. He's like, there's something that trumps even happiness, right? And that thing is this value called truth. We are to pursue that even if it doesn't lead to a great sense of happiness. He's willing to grant that when it comes to truth. Later on in the conversation, the question is there such a thing as goodness that trumps happiness? And we get a much more mixed answer from that. So, should we then move on to the part of the conversation around about the 12.5-minute mark? And I do recommend that everybody checks out the whole 20-minute interview that Brendan O'Connor did with Richard Dawkins. They get into some really fascinating issues.
You're not taking
but around about 12.5 minutes in, they don't tell me we're Daleking again. Okay, so it's not the mic. It's not the microphone. It's something else. And now we can hear you again. Now we know why LIVEcast was not live for so long. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Christoph. You did, but now good again. You know what?
Go on. We'll be...
Go on.
I reckon I'm...
Yeah? Are we on it?
top of this.
Okay, all right.
I don't like this trackpad. It's all going wrong here. Right. You want a bit of Dawkins?
Let's have... we want some Dawkins.
You want some Dawkins?
Enough Dalek. Let's have some Dawkins. All right, let's listen to the 12.5-minute mark. Let's go.
I'll get back to the book in 1 second. Can I ask you about one other thing? Because and I'll be completely honest with you and say I have a kind of an interest in this myself. And I promise you I'm not taking any offence by it or anything. I'm just curious about it, okay? So I want to ask you about...
So Columbo.
You got involved in a Twitter interaction with a woman who said she would be faced with a real ethical dilemma if she became pregnant with a baby with Down syndrome. You tweeted, abort it and try again. It would be immoral to bring it into the world if you have the choice. Now, I saw you're speaking to somebody who did bring someone like that into the world, okay, but let's put that aside. I'm interested in how do you think it is immoral to bring someone with Down syndrome into the world?
I think that once you have a child with Down syndrome, you love it, you cherish it. Everybody does. That's well known. I wouldn't deny that for one single moment. But before it's born, the vast number of people who take an amniocentesis and is diagnosed with Down syndrome, as a matter of fact, do abort it. This is just
Let's
a fact.
talk about that.
In
That's fascinating because this did not make it into the Twitter video. So the Twitter video was a compressed 2 minutes where Dawkins is put on the spot and he's made to look foolish.
Yeah.
What they cut out is Dawkins saying something that is well worth bearing in mind, that people, when they discover Downs in the womb, do in fact abort at a rate of between 95 and 100%. This is why back in 2017 there was all sorts of campaigning around the issue of the non-invasive prenatal tests that were being brought in, and in Scandinavian countries, like in Iceland, when they brought in non-invasive prenatal tests, 100% of mothers did in fact abort. And in this country, it was about 90% before the non-invasive prenatal tests, and I think that's really shot up from 90%. So in the overwhelming majority of cases, people do in fact abort and try again. And the irony is, isn't it, that like people responding to the Dawkins thing online is kind of, you know how exactly, but you imagine it's kind of like 90% of people are outraged by what Dawkins says, yet 90% of people in that position are doing exactly the thing he's just said, right? It's very kind of Romans too, isn't it? Like, you do these same things, you set judgment over these people, but yet you do these very things. Yeah. The trouble was that Dawkins said it quite a bit out loud. He named. Oh, okay.
It's back again. It's fine now.
Okay, we're Daleking. Tell you what, should we end and start again? Has it got to that? Has it got that bad? I think it might have been.
I don't know.
It's hard to...
I mean, the problem is it's all been such gold so far.
But we could pre-record and then release.
We might have to.
We might have to. Yeah, it's okay now, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna take an executive decision. I think we probably need to.
Calling it Rain has called off play.
No, says JS.
It's
Don't abort, says Christoph Keating. Abort and try again. Oh, is there life? There is life. Okay, if you've.
It's very sporadic. I think if I just keep my headphones on, I'll be able to hear what's going. This is going to make an amazing podcast,
Isn't it? You've got a lot of work to do in this edit, Paul. I tell you that much.
We're clear now, but I've got no idea what's causing the hiccup.
No. Apart from being jinxed by a TikToker, that's pretty much it. It happens when you move, says JS. Okay, and when we have a gibbous moon.
Right, don't move.
And when Aries is in Aquarius.
Vision is based on movement.
So do the whole thing. Its vision is based on.
Just like sit there.
Oh man. This is I'm so glad that you guys are out there though. This is great.
It keeps it fun, doesn't it? Like, sort of light-hearted at least.
Otherwise, we would have got to the end of an hour and we would have listened back to gibberish, more gibberish than usual.
So where were we? I mean, are we carrying on? What are we doing?
Let's carry on now, and if we have to re-record, we can re-record later. So where was I?
So that's a good question.
Yeah.
We were. Go on, people, help us out.
You weren't listening intently.
So we just said that Dawkins said the quiet bit out loud.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so he mentions what in fact 90+% of people do in fact do when they discover
Speak.
Hello.
It's fine again.
It's fine again. Percent of aborted with Downs. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Well, guys, thank you for sticking with us. I hate to throw in the towel, but Paul is drawing on his deep wells of technical experience.
Yeah. No, hit that. No.
We will let you know when we are next. Are you tuned into us on Twitter? If you can go to Speak Life UK, we'll let you know when we're next broadcasting live. On Facebook, we are Speak Life UK there as well. And yeah.
People just laughing at us. Donald Daleki again.
Yeah. Well. Never mind.
I'm just trying to think like whether there's a quick.
Oh, now you're trying to think whether there's a quick. Just wondering if there's a solution to any of this.
I mean, I can fiddle with all these bits, but it'll probably just go even more wrong.
We're going to thump some things off air, and then we'll come back to you. But thank you so much, and thank you for expressing your
It'll
love.
be the interns, won't it?
Yeah, we'll thump the interns. All right. Thank you for laughing with us, and we will be back at some stage. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.